Grandmama used to pray, oh Lord, please save them from the evil snares and all the dangers that entangle. Yea, though they walking through the valley of the shadows, just prepare and make them fit for every battle, because I know they bound to come, and I know they bound to fall, but in your bounty, Lord, preserve their beautiful. Right, we still surviving off of grandma's prayers, surrounded by the jungle and the lion's den. Tread light, cause these traps isn't conspicuous. They hide right in plain sight, thinking we don't see them when they linger. Look right beneath the surface, then leave a trail of corpses. Crisis, prices, your life a disposable commodity, like living in a fantasy, conditioned to believe that the system even cares whether selling CDs or walking or driving or reading. Look, they don't even need a reason, it's just you breathing and being black. When it's such a pretty fall, it don't seem like we falling at all, at all. It's just a GMO dream, where things are never really what they seem. Please cue the violins, tell them just to play me something pretty, cause this gritty city got me screaming bloody murder. Said it got me screaming. This gritty city got me on some. Look, get your hand up on my pocket. Distraction, so lazy they use the same tactics, like condom with some trinkets. Just don't let them get to thinking. That light bulb gets to blinking. You know niggas and ideas. Oh dear, my dear, you may not know me, but I know you very well. Foresight, they say hindsight is 2020. Well, tell me something, we gotta see that history is on repeat, and maybe it takes a beat and a melody to speak a little louder than the message in the clouds or the essence in the air. I swear, my God is just so clear that a system driven by fear can never give us nothing but more of the same things. Oh, when it's such a pretty fall, it don't seem like we falling at all. It's just a GMO dream, where things are never really what they seem. Please cue the violins, tell them just to play me something pretty, cause this gritty city got me screaming. It's murder. Got me screaming, got me. This gritty city got me on song.
What's going on, good people? We are live and direct. This is RSTV, Kalonji Changa. And you know what we do around this time on Black Power Media? We bring you that critical political action. Today, we are commemorating on the eve of the cold-blooded murder of Manuel Esteban Paez Terán, known to many of us here in Atlanta area as Tortuguita. He is a young activist, an environmental activist, an eco-anarchist who was shot and killed by Georgia State Patrol after Georgia State Patrol claimed that they fired on them. But the fact is, we know that those charges are false. Tortuguita was shot 57 times, 57 gunshot wounds. No visible gunpowder residue was found on their hands, and it is understood that hands were up. And yet the police murdered, and no one was charged. Today, on this glorious day, we wanted to bring in a relative of Tortuguita. This is the mother, Belkis, visiting Atlanta and coming on RSTV to let us know her thoughts on the murder of her son on his 1-year anniversary. Belkis, how you doing today?
Good. Thank you. I feel very honored to be here. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
We're honored to have you. We know that it's not an easy road. We know that it hasn't been easy for you, and you know, for you to take the time to visit us today, we don't take it lightly. You know, so again, we thank you, and we thank you for raising a great child. You know, so for folks who aren't familiar with Tortuguita, you know, you would be the person who has known this great human for the entire lifespan. If you don't mind sharing to us, who is and who was Tortuguita to you?
Tortuguita, Tort, for me was Manuel. Manuel is my second child. He was all his life very intense, very charismatic. He fulfilled everything since he was born. And I named him Manuel because he's coming from Emmanuel, that means God with us. So I grew up him very in a Christian tradition. I was not very religious, but we have the following principle from the Bible, and principles I always said to them, for all my children, the principle of life, that we have to respect each other, and when your rights or the rights of other person start, it finish your rights, respectful and consideration for other people, based on Jesus' word that it was love your neighbor as yourself. I think this is the more powerful law in the universe. That is the love. Love is what is helping everybody to grow and to give the best of yourself. So Manuel Tortuguita, he grew up a very healthy way, attention, traveling, because we travel different countries. He studied in Aruba, England, Egypt, Houston, the United States, because of my partner job. So we were traveling. Sakhalin, Russia too. So we travel. We are a family with a very open cosmovision on life. We are not rich, but the possibilities to have all these experiences. So we travel everywhere together as a family. And he early showed this interest to other people. When it was Christmas time, he got the presents, and suddenly I saw him giving his present to other children. I said, Manuel, no, don't do that. This is yours. Mommy, but the boy doesn't have a toy. I like him to have a toy. I said, yes, but this is for you. So I managed to give other toys. Okay, we can give you this toy and you keep your own. So he was selfless all his life. And in the same, when he was working 2 years ago, $2,000, and the next day he was given to people. Exactly the same. I said, Manuel, why are you giving your money away? Mommy, I don't need it. These people need it. And it was a lady with 3 children. I gave $100. And then, Manuel, he was very, very, and that's why his name now is, remembering, because in the short time, for me, it was a short time, 1 year or less than 1 year with the Forest Defender, but he made a very good, very deep impact in the community. He was very intense, very active with so many people. He helped so many people. I receive people sometimes, your son did this to me, or your son did this to me. And I'm amazed. And the way that they killed him, let me try to do it inclusive. The way that they killed them, it was very horrible. It was, I don't have a word. It was, 57 wounds in his body. Some of those wounds, it was with one bullet. Four wounds for one bullet. So I was devastated about that. How they could massacre a person along in the forest, you know. They supposed to protect, not to kill people in the forest.
Right.
So, but this investigation is doing by lawyers, so they keep doing. The police are making their own assumptions, and they believe that they have the truth, but I don't believe them. So we are working on that.
So when you got this news, I'm sure that, you know, of course, it's a moment in your life that you'll never forget. Where were you, and how did it come about? Or did someone call you? Or
Yeah. One of the forest defender, he was from the plant in Tallahassee. Manuel was in Tallahassee for a few years, and I met a lot of his friends there. So the next day, he sent a message. She sent a message to me. It was one of my daughters now. She sent a message to me, and she said, "I'm sorry about Manny, and you are a great mother. You grew up a gentle soul. I'm sorry for that." And so I was in Panama. So I said, "What are you talking about? I don't know what are you talking. You don't know?" It was lunchtime next day, Thursday. So no, I don't know. And then she sent me it was in the news, the links, and I was wow. And then I am a person that I don't react immediately. I'm very slow on reaction. So I was investigating. I call his father, I call my son, I tell them. So we start to investigate what was happening. So, because the first thing that they say that he shot a police, and I mean, how that happened? And other thing, I thought that he was running away from the police. That was another. And then later, we discovered through the investigation that he was sitting with the hands like this against the police, you know, and all the information that later came out. So yeah, it was very painful. It is painful. I just finished to cry a few minutes ago. I mean, I can be strong, but my privacy, or I know it's going to be very hard today, tomorrow, and all this week.
right.
So I'm trying to have my tea, and my breathing, relaxing, because it's going to be hard. But I like to be strong because I have a message to give. I grew up a person that it was with the big light, big heart, love. I grew up with a lot of love. My relationship with Manuel was like this, you know. We say everything to each other. We even of course, private things are private. Like if you have a relation with somebody, or what you do in your intimacy is something else. We didn't talk about those things, but we talk about everyday activity. And when he decided May 2022 to go to the Forest Defender, he sent me a picture with his gear and everything. I'm gonna be taking courses for strict doctor, and he already did this training for 3 times. He did it in Aruba, he did it in Panama, and then he was doing in Atlanta. Like a refreshing,
Right, right.
And yeah, so here in Panama, he was in the university, for Florida State University. He created the environmental club together with his friends. So he was activist before he arrived the United States. He already was activist, cleaning beaches, working on, helping. He likes to go the Sundays, Saturdays or Sundays to the park to take care of the old people. Bringing water to them in the wheelchairs. It was, I found always so cute of them to do that.
Right.
And yeah, it was active. It was active. So I plan to do the same. I plan to continue doing something, not only protest. Protest is important, but we have to change our way to be. We have to spend more time outside, or not outside, but doing something for the community instead of watching TV or playing games or being in yourself.
Right.
There is so many things to do outside or for the community or for your neighbor, that is part of the what Jesus said to us. I was asking Manuel, why don't you go to church once? I said, if I go to church, I'm going to be sitting in a chair, listening a bunch of things that I already know, and I'm losing my time there. Better go outside and clean the beach or helping. I respect, I don't say it's bad to do that, but for me, I prefer action. Go, do this, do that. So in the same way, I think instead of being in my room crying for him or for them, so I will do something. And that's what I create the Tortuguita Healing Center, which I want to do interactive. Interactive means to relate with everybody online or by phone, or give an example too. Then we can share ways to heal, because I don't know, I don't have all the answers.
Right.
So you can help me. For example, I have this tip for healing. Oh, I can use it,
Right. Right.
So my plan now, why healing? Because Manuel or Tortuguita is not anymore here. So to continue, we need to be good inside. Then we can open and connect with people from our light.
Right.
If we connect with people from our anger, from our sorrow, from our cry, from our sadness, the connection is not going to be as as positive or of a created as should be. But if we connect from our light, from our love, then we can make positive things for community.
Right.
And we can change the world. I think the world needs to be changed. I think I'm becoming now abolitionist.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yes, I think there is a lot of institution that must to be abolished. But we have to create the movement. We have to create the environment to destroy those institutions that are cancer for our society. The thing is, the bad people or the drug people or the robbers or the killers in the society that are in the jail or in the prison without any opportunity to reform. This is not the cancer. The cancer is the institution that doesn't provide help for those people, especially in the United States, where a lot of people is suffering of emotional problems. And there is, most of them that have suffering emotional problem try to solve through drugs. And sometimes the institutions create the addiction for those people.
Absolutely.
I used to work as a drug abuse counselor. I used to work as an alcoholism and abuse counselor, drug abuse counselor in Chicago, by the way, many years ago. And I was in an institution, and they create this addiction to people on methadone, and instead of helping them to get out of the drug, the real drug, cocaine or whatever, they put these people in institution to use methadone.
Right. Get them hooked on the methadone now.
Right. Without any real interest on cleaning the people from the drugs.
Right.
So you can see the system is very, I'm not talking because somebody told me, I'm talking that I live that.
Sure.
I was a counselor for 26 people. And in a year time, I managed by myself, because of my vision, to help 2 people to get out of drugs. But all the counselors, they don't care. They are in the system and they just, here, increase the methadone. Right. Yeah, I just get my salary and go home.
It's important that you say that, because, they move them from one addiction to the next. And like you said, this is what America does for you. They continue to criminalize and demonize. They lock someone up for some petty charges in the name of reform, but it's no real reform. It's like, let's put you in this cage. Let's make you it's a modern form of enslavement. It's a new type of method.
Slavery, yes.
Yes. So I'm glad you're sharing that part, because for years we've been telling folks the methadone clinics are another form of the addiction. And it's like, let's take you off of these quote unquote illegal drugs, and let's put you on something that we sanction, that we can make money off of.
And methadone is more addictive than cocaine and any other drug on the street. It's more addictive, and they know that it's more addictive. So I don't see what is the real sense of that. But money, and now with the Cop City the same.
Right.
All this controversy, all this movement trying to avoid the city, the people doesn't want a Cop City. No, but there is a lot of money and investment that make rich the people that is involved, including the city, you know.
Yes. The
They
mayor.
don't,
Yeah.
yeah,
The
they
governor.
don't care. They don't care. I, I, mm, I see them, all these governors, like they own the city, like
Right.
if they are the landlords of the city, and they are not, because they don't. The city doesn't belong to them. Belong to the people, but
True.
they don't listen because they have the power. So the community have to organize themselves. The community have to slowly create links to heal themselves, and from the light, from the love, from the good um, ideas, um, transform the society from the bottom.
So has any of these quote unquote elected officials ever reached out to you? I know that you said you found out about Manuel's death through a friend you didn't even know. It was like 24 hours later. Did anyone ever reach out to you to say, listen, our condolences?
No,
Or
no, no. Never, 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 never.
not one person.
No, no, no. We try for a long time. Then we get connection with one later, but it was just after so much knocking doors, and then one of, I don't want to say names or anything, but
You can feel free too. We're not, we don't,
well, I don't remember really. I
okay,
don't
all right.
remember.
Okay.
I don't
Don't worry
remember
about it.
those
Yeah.
people. I know that one time I get the opportunity to talk to West um, Westmoreland, I think
Okay.
it was,
The city council,
the city
Westmoreland.
council, because
Okay.
we stop and then, but it was briefly. It was not. We just passed by and then we saw their Dickens, and they say, "Oh, stop to talk to." Dickens never showed his face, but I talked to Westmoreland, and he was against. He said in favor of Cop City.
Right.
But and then talked to Liliana, and Liliana, yeah, she voted no against Cop City, but it was more votes for Cop City. So I think it was two against the rest. So
Right. So what when you heard the news and they said that Tort had fired on the cops, what was your thought on that? Did you ever think that that was even possible, or what was your, what was, what went through your mind when they said that? Because from what you're telling us, it sounds like this is a loving, giving person and someone that was, raised to respect people. So I don't, what was your thoughts on that?
I thought it was a mistake. I mean, I thought that they were confusing for somebody else. But then I investigate, and they because they said that he was in a land that it doesn't belong. Um, it was not accessible for people. But then we discovered that, yeah, he was in a park. It was a
Right.
park open to everybody. So
Right.
yeah, well, I think and I thought there was a mistake. They were looking for to prove something, and and they killed my son on cold blood. That's what I think.
Right.
Because Manuel was sitting in the tent. We didn't know anything. We didn't know. We were, how is possible that a person that is in a park, because I knew that he was in a park, they are doing this. Later on, I went there and I went to the whole area of Wilani. It was not closed yet for the public. I collect things in the floor that I knew belongs to them.
Mm.
So yeah.
And how long
For
after was that? How long after that murder did you visit the land?
15 days.
15
15
days.
days, yeah, later, or 3 weeks
Their
later.
belongings were still there.
Yeah. They make a mess. There was bullets all over the place, holes in the clothes. It was thrown in the floor. A mess, really a mess. Emmanuel was very clean person.
Right.
He liked everything neat.
Was this a
Clean.
tent or what was it, a
It
tent?
was a tent.
So you could see the holes all through the tent is what you're saying.
No. They took the tent.
Okay.
But I could see the suitcase. He had a suitcase full of bullets. I found bullets in a shoe. We saw holes in the trees. We saw one of his pants full of bullets, and it was thrown in the floor. A lot of garbage, and yeah, we went there and collect all the garbage and throw everything in the garbage, and our like a flute that he has there, I took it, and personal things, we took it. His suitcase, I left it there. Somebody was using later, but I don't know what happened with the suitcase.
Right.
And clothes, I left it there because it was still good clothes that anybody can use. So
Right. So what would you like to see take place? Because we know that Tortuguita was murdered in cold blood, as you said. No charges have been brought about. The city pretty much disregarded you as if in a family because it's like they didn't have the decency. And we don't even know how you would have found out that they were murdered if you hadn't gotten this message. I mean, what would you like to see done, and what are your thoughts on Cop City as a whole?
Yeah, well, I want to stop to construct Cop City, but most of everything I like that they recognize that they did wrong. I mean, Manuel was not a threat for anybody, and well, the lawyers are investigating. They continue. We are I just talked to them, and they don't have easy because everything is so mysterious, but they will continue. They will continue looking for information and present something. The police is totally closed. We don't want to do assumptions now.
Right.
Just wait to see what it can be done. So for me, I am busy now, like I say, with this healing.
Yes.
And a lot of people in the forest defender are wounded, are suffering.
Yes.
So I think in my position as a mother of Tortuguita's mother is to help those people to heal and continue life and continue programs. I like to continue and support food programs, housing programs, not only in the United States, but I am in Panama. I am trying to do it in Panama too, because that was one of my advices to Manuel. I said, Manuel, if it's so difficult in Atlanta, why don't you go to California or go to the Muskogee land in Oklahoma? Because he had the connection with the Muskogee people. Why don't you go there? And the world is so open for opportunities to serve. Even now, for example, with Palestine, many people are helping in Palestine, taking children, what they can save. And in Egypt, sometimes people are trying to help. The war is terrible, but as long as we can do something, okay, now there is protest. Yes, protest, because they have to stop and allow to people to rebuild their life. For actions like the war, or actions like that are away from us, I just pray, because I believe that we can show our energy, send energy to the world to heal. But around us, in our neighborhood, we can do things too. We have to build trees, forests. We have to continue building forests. I like to learn how to do this. So some ladies in India, Tudu, she is rebuilding area in India. It's a lady.
Mm-hmm.
Taking care of a forest there. So there is actions that are doing people all over the world, and we can do it. We can do it. The opportunities are there. Just you have to identify and act.
Wow.
So my way to healing, because I look for immediately feeling better, is with oils, for example.
Okay.
I use oils, essential oils. Some people, as for maintain my relax, I use ashwagandha. I don't know if you heard about ashwagandha.
I use ashwagandha, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So ashwagandha. Go to the natural. We don't need to have cocaine. We don't need to have drugs.
Sure.
We can do natural thing, good food. So those who are in this part of the world that we are busy in our life, and this system that is very stressful, you need to pay taxes, you need to do this, you need to do that. So take a moment for meditation, take a moment for yourself. If you heal yourself, then you have more light to share, and this will immediately create opportunities, and when you focus only in the bad things and you don't see the good things in your life, then you contaminate your cells.
That's right.
So I know because you are a very a protester person, but I'm sure that you need to have your own equilibrium.
Yes.
And you work on that. You need to have your own equilibrium, because if you don't have your own equilibrium, you cannot continue. All this information kills you.
That's right. That's right. You know, what you're saying right now is right on time. It's right on time. So I am so grateful. In fact, I want to say you remind me of another Belkis, another beautiful Belkis out here in Atlanta, who is talking about the same thing, healing, talking about um, meditation and herbs and so on and so forth. And it's definitely necessary. For folks who are not familiar, Belkis means Belkis was the Queen of Sheba. So not only did Manuel have a great name, you have a great name as well, and that's good. Good to know that you all are living those names out, because oftentimes people take on names that they can't fulfill. You know what I mean? It's difficult to live up to a good name. They say good name is worth more than gold. But I definitely looking forward to seeing you before you leave in person. And I appreciate, you sharing the healing modalities with our audience. And how can we assist besides that? How can we assist as far as um, keeping the name Tortuguita alive and assisting in the healing aspects? What can we do, or how can we reach you?
Well, what we can do is to plant trees, take care of nature in any ways, feed the poor, try to find your poor, try to find the people that is in need around you, and help to shelter people too. We have to find a way as a community to shelter people. There is now a big fight, and it's a big fight in the cities about this gentrification. That is terrible, because it take all the people that cannot pay a good place, and then they move away, and try to make a voice about that. We have to make a voice. Organize with your church, with your, I don't know, there's so many ways that we can connect with people. Even you walk in the park and try to see what people is doing. I know I have to be very careful, Never do anything alone. I
Sure.
always say that. Don't do anything alone. You cannot go with your plate of food to feed anybody. Don't do that. Why? Because you have to be careful too.
Sure.
You don't know what the other person can be. But if you connect with a group that is feeding, or here in Atlanta, there is a lot of places.
Sure.
Connect with them. And I had a very nice lady that what can I do? I said, just get out of your television.
That's the first
It's,
start. Yeah.
yeah,
That and
yeah.
social
And
media. Yeah.
yeah, the television or the telephone is connecting you to here, but you have to connect here, outside.
Right.
And this is healthy to listen programs like this, but you have to try to be with real people. That's why I want to see you in person and hold you.
Right on. And you will. So I definitely again, I know that you have a ton of things to do today, but I really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule here on the eve of your son's murder. But we say that he's not dead. His spirit moved on, and the work will move through, because just seeing you as a mother, you know, we must say that we believe that Tortuguita wasn't a victim. He was a victor. He was victorious because they killed his body, but his spirit and his name, the spirit and name moves on, lives on. And through the work that you're talking about here, it will inspire many more than they could have possibly inspired on this planet in the physical form. So
I'm
definitely,
very ambitious. I'm very ambitious. I like to do this to the whole world. You know, that everybody in a certain moment react, you know, that we are losing time watching TV or listening stupid things instead of doing something for others, for your neighbor. If you have the opportunity, you will always find something, a way to serve to other person.
that's right.
But it need to be inspired. And Manuel was inspiring. Tortuguita, he
That's
was
right.
inspiring. So I like to share this with everybody, that we need to rescue the earth. We need to get higher vibration, the good vibration, the light vibration. Manuel is light right now.
That's right.
He's light, or them there is light. So that's where I found my power. My power is in thinking that there he is, and he led a legacy that we can follow. All the examples that the people say, oh, he was doing this, he was doing that. Wow, it's great to hear. And we have to continue. We have to continue his legacy, his work, and from the light. I said, from the light, not from anger, not from your problems, from the light.
That's right.
So, mhm.
That's right. Well, we will see you soon. Be safe out here. Let us know if you need anything, and
Thank you.
we will win.
Invite tomorrow to the church. Mhm.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
You know, no?
Yeah, I'll
Baptist
get that.
church.
Yes, I'll get the information, and we'll see you then.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
My
Yes, be
pleasure.
safe. Yes, be safe. It's we're checking out RSTV. That was Belkis, the mother of Tortuguita, who was murdered here in Atlanta by the state. The police murdered him, cold blood. And we just heard from, you know, his matriarch. And we look forward to seeing you all out in these streets. We look forward to you all spreading the word and spreading this particular platform and program, and continuing to support us here on RSTV and Black Power Media. Gratitude for all that you all do, and we'll see you soon, RSTV.
Sometimes the riot is a quiet one. Well, the battle is to love yourself and function in society where voices of reason are muted by anxiety, like gaining notoriety is selling your soul. So we tend to go no deeper than the shallow water level, trying to keep us overhead in the face of all the slurs and the stares. Mentally frozen, paralyzed by fear of failure and success. So we lock, stock, barrel, running while it's crumbling. All these towers and they're babbling, but the baby's in the bath and the stash under the bed on my head, spinning from the circles and the puppets and the strings that they pulled. And we move, reactionary warfare,